Good morning, everybody. Commissioner's report will come to order. Today's date is August 12th. We've got a full quorum. Everyone, please rise to the pledge of allegiance, followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Williams, please lead us in the prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have bestowed upon us. Father, be with us as we do the business of Mills County. Bless our land with some rain. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen on that rain. We definitely need that. Okay. Commissioners, number 2, review and act on minutes of August 5th, 2025. We'll go through those. If any changes we need to make.
On item number 8 on the minutes, it's, did we vote on that? Consider an act on the county vehicle restoration fee schedule. I know we made a motion, but I don't know.
Yes.
It shows no vote on it.
Yeah, there's a vote and a motion and a second, but no.
Voted.
Yeah.
So, and I think we voted on it.
Yeah.
But it should be 5 to.
Do you have that in front of you?
Yes.
Number 8, you need to put motion carried 5-0. At the end. On number 12. If I'm not mistaken, that third to last sentence on paragraph 12, it says the new company will be, it's the same company, isn't it? Isn't that right, Sheriff? It's Sheriff.
the telephone
bill. Frown Correctional, wasn't it the same company?
Yes.
So that doesn't need to say new company, you need to strike the word new, right?
Just say the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on 19, under precinct 4, second sentence says gold, GOLED course. That should be golf course. I don't know where gold course is, so just a typo. That's all the mistakes I saw. Anything?
Any other corrections for minutes of August 5th?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as corrected for August 5th.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the minutes, seconded by Commissioner Parton. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Audience individuals. I don't see any individuals need to talk to us today, Julie, so we'll move on to number 4, review and act on accounts payables, commissioners. One thing I'll bring to y'all's attention, Louis Coronado, the second half of the payment came due and it was less than what he had quoted for us. I think he did an excellent job on the courthouse basement. I know y'all all have seen it. So it's nice to have him come in under what he proposed to make cost.
So Robert, you were asking me about the Durhall trailer.
Yes, sir.
That is that back bar that opens the back of the adjustment bar. It didn't have one on it.
No.
And we ordered another one. The front one ripped out and Sides had to rebuild the front one. And Sides recommended that we put that back one on there because all the pressure was all in the front and that's why it ripped out. So there's a second bar on the.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. That'll make Dale happy.
The latch on the Challenger tractor, that was the door latch that was broke, which we'd never seen the latch. They sent the bill in, but the Challenger tractor still is sitting exactly where we dropped it off for those that want to use the rock crusher. So I guess he just threw the latch in the seat because we hadn't seen it, so.
Page 5. There's asked about the 10 horns, 120 feet of 18-foot 10 horns. That's actually 4 10 horns, 18 inch by 30 foot from barrel head for 2,200.
precinct 3, like all since it on Mullen. That's why we had to move the money away.
Yeah. And money thing is still all. We ain't there, and still got a bill from Pat coming out, Jeffrey, seeing on that out, so. These repairs, when they hit you, can get pretty bad.
Yeah, the news on repair, Commissioner Porter, I know you're still checking around, so.
Can't do anything, like it. Bill, yeah, anything left, but. Keep your repairing the wheel.
Make a motion, we approve the payables.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the payables. The second's been made by Commissioner Head in the discussion. All those in favor of approving the payables, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none opposed. Moving on to consent agenda. Commissioners, we go through all the packages for consent agenda, all the different departments. Charles, good morning.
Are we not gonna receive a facilities report anymore, or is that done?
Yeah,
Had been in the last 2 months.
yeah, he, of course, everybody's busy, he come busy and was asking about it, and I said, if we need to do it, we'll start back up. And you want that, Commissioner Williams, I'll make sure we get that back in.
I mean, it was there for a year and then now it's not, so I
Yeah.
just didn't know.
Well, that's the status of it. Now, he does have the full reports of everything. If you want any of those reports, everything going on, he's still keeping track of that, of course. Which he can get to anyone, everybody in the town.
I have no questions on the consent agenda, so I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as written.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the consent agenda. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to the action agenda, number 5, budget workshop with Charles Miles. Charles, good morning. We want to start things off, and then we'll go down commissioners to all the other different departments, any changes, whatnot you want to propose. Charles, if you just.
You can move up there to that
You can do that table here and spread out, Charles, yes. Don't think so. The spread out that table would be easier. And,
a lot easier.
Any changes, commissioners, let me know. I'll make sure the treasurer gets our changes we do propose. Well, Charles, first off, last week, I know you're a little under the weather. You got COVID and very sick, and we're glad you're healthy and back with us, and you're feeling a little better, aren't you?
So I got to those stairs right there. They have an elevator.
Yeah.
Well, I've never used it. I mean, never needed it before. I may take it going down.
It works good. I've been.
Yeah. Well, about halfway up, I realized I am a little weaker than I was. It's a little slow, but I am too.
Well, glad you're here, Charles. Go ahead, if you'll give us kind of the recap and everything
All
that's
right.
going on.
The recap, and y'all, I think y'all all have copies of all of this, there's a little 3-page recap of budgeted receipts and expenditures and fund balances. Does everybody have a copy of that? Okay. So. If you look at page 1, it's by fund. Actual for the last fiscal year, 22-23. Budget for the current fiscal year, my projected amounts for the current budget year, and then the last column is the proposed budget for 24-25. So if you look down at the bottom under net receipts after transfers. Actual for it was 7,167,000. The budget for the current year is 7,405,000. The estimated is 7,372,000. And then the proposed for next year is 8,056. The net disbursements, net of transfers, actual was 66,006,000. The budget was 7,345,000. The estimated is 6,478,000. And the proposed budget for 24-25 is 7,788,000. Excess of receipts over disbursements. The actual for last year was 553,000 positive. We budgeted 60,000. And on my projections, I come in at 894,000. And then the budget as it sits right now is 268 surplus for this year. And then the last two items are fund balance at the end of the year. Actual for the prior year ending balance is 4,009,000. Based on budget, it was going to be 4,994,000. My projection has it at 5,828,000. And the proposed budget would set the surplus a little over 6 million at the end of the year. Now, I need to tell you on the estimated, this was different this year with all the flooding going on. I usually do it through May, which is 8 months projected out for the end of the year. I did that. And then the flood was about that same time. So we felt like maybe there's going to be some additional expenditures this year. So as soon as the treasurer got through paying all the bills for July, I redid it. Surprising to me, it didn't really change that much. I think my original projection was a little over 900,000 surplus, and it's coming in to 894. Of course, I know in the precincts, y'all is probably spending lots of money in August, September. I think we're still going to be coming in at a pretty good surplus for the current fiscal years based on my projection. And page 3 is just my projected balance in each of the funds at the end of the current year. Actual for the prior year, what we budgeted, what I project, and what the proposed budget for 24-25 is going to be. Now, in my projections, I projected all transfers that were budgeted would be made, all equipment expenditures in the precincts and the law enforcement that were made, that were budgeted would be made. You know, those are just some of the assumptions I made in the projections. Does anybody have any questions on those reports?
There's questions on this first part?
Other one-page deal on the tax rate. The original taxable value projections from the appraisal district on the projected tax base had the tax base going down
16%.
Yeah, it was 50 million decrease from last year. So that's when we did the original revenue estimates that were showing a huge deficit on those first budget workshops y'all had because of that. When the actual certified value came in, it's 912 million, which is an $84 million increase over last year. The budget, the tax rate I used on the original, according to y'all's instruction, was the same tax rate as last year, 6061. Uh, That doesn't mean every tax rate is exactly the same. When you have an increase in tax base, then the interest and sinking rate goes down because it takes a lesser rate to get the same amount into the interest and sinking. So this, usually we put that difference, whatever that is, into the general fund tax rate. This year, based on a telephone conference I had with y'all in one of your seminars or workshops, it sounded like y'all wanted to put more of that into the road and bridge as we went along. So I increased the road and bridge special rate instead of the general fund rate this year, just to get a matter of where those extra dollars went into. So if you have questions on that. Below that is the 2024 no new revenue tax rate. So we're going to be below that rate because that, if you see under road and bridge, it's 10.21. The no new revenue rate is 8.72. The general fund is the total of the general plus the interest and sinking, which is a little over 50 cents, and the no new revenue rate is 45.96. So you're below the no new revenue rate. And then the next rate is the 2024 voter approved rates. I'm sorry, you're above the no new revenue rates. But you're below the voter approved rates in the projected budget. Last few years, we've budgeted 99.5% of collection rate, which is kind of unheard of, but that's kind of what it's been the last several years in our county. And it shows based on the rates at the top of the page. In the interest and sinking, we're going to collect $556.43 more than the prior year, and in the total of the general and the road bridge special, collecting about $509,000 more than last year's revenue. And that's the numbers that have been used in the budget. 6.61.
Well, I don't know if it'll change any, but right now we're only setting it on a collection rate of 98%. And we're
It is a little, it is
low this year, and I don't see it changing much. I don't see it getting that 99.5.
or, 5 or 6 years ago, I think we used a 98% collection rate.
We did.
I'm more comfortable with a 98%, but in the meantime, y'all had kind of switched over to a 99.5% collection rate, which had been hitting. It's been hitting every year. If you look back, it's hit the 99.5.
I agree with Commissioner Williams, we might want to look at, readdress that more like 98.5.
Yeah, I mean, this whole year it's been low in collection.
Low collection.
All year long, so,
Yeah,
um,
98.5 might be a better number, Charles.
and the only other thing that I have is on a road and bridge, just talking road and bridge here. We take a lot out of transferables from the general fund, even more this year. Is there any way that maybe we might, because we keep taking from the general fund, is there any way we could raise the road and bridge up a little bit more and lower so it's still the same rate? So that more money goes, I know once that money goes in there, you can't take it back out. I understand that, but every year we're robbing from the general fund.
Years ago, there was more money in road and bridge and the precincts than were in the general fund. So starting probably 15 years ago, we tried to get, because money in the general fund can be used for any purpose.
Right.
The bridge can only be used for the road. So we made a conscious effort back at that time to increase the rate of the general fund and hold back on that. You may be at the point, yes, that you've overdone that. We need to adjust those rates a little bit. You're still, all the money in the general fund available to the precinct. It's not a major problem that is in there. It's just part of the budget process shows those transfers. But if you want to try to bump up that road bridge.
I mean, it's still all gonna be the same money, except for once you, like you're saying, once it goes in road and bridge, you can't take it out.
Can't get it
Have no
out.
excess.
Yeah. And we had a problem at that point that we had money in the precincts and the road and bridge special, but we couldn't get it back to the general fund where it was needed because we were running close to, we didn't have 5 million in surplus.
Now, but that's just one of my things. If we did that, it'd be a little more transparent. But I mean, you have to go in and look at the transfers. I mean, it's there. It's not like we're hiding it, but yeah.
Well, since that is a tax, is it like 30% before you have to have a rollback election?
You would have to stay under that voter approved rate, which is currently at 12.21.
So we're all right with that, what you're saying?
We're all right today. Yes, we're all right today. My preference would be early in the budget process next year, if that's what you want to do, communicate that and we'll try to bump up that road and bridge special rate and decrease the general fund as a part of it. But right now, all the difference would be you'd have more in the road and bridge and more transfers out of road and bridge to the precincts and less. I mean, all it's going to affect is the transfers, whether they come.
Correct.
We would have to kill to make that change at this point. I don't think it would work. Okay.
Gotcha.
It don't make much difference which way it goes on that.
You know, but as you're spending more out of, I mean, it's costing more to do it out of maintain the roads. It probably is a good idea to have the budget more closely reflect the tax rate, but, you know.
And it will be necessary next year, and just in my opinion, because we are going to be doing a lot of stuff that we've not done, and that was with this riprap material and pavement type stuff. And I think that's going to end up, you're going to see a change. And that, again, more equipment, more expense type thing. So I don't know. That's just the way I'm looking at it. So.
Well, with the FEMA deal up there, I don't guess anybody can project anything.
But to the original point, I think we've gone too far towards less in the road and bridge special and more to the general, and it needs to swing backwards the other direction.
Even if you went up to that 11, you know, I mean, it's 10.2 right now, so we could even, that little bit would be a lot. So
It's several dollars, yes.
that's keeping the rate at the same as last year, no changes.
061.
The overall total rate the same as last year. The allocations between it are different because of the interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what other recaps, Charles, do you have?
That's about all I have, is I tried to analyze this 84 million is a big increase this year. Part of that, if you go back to the appraisal district spreadsheets and everything, out of the 84 million, 67 million was a decrease in the abatements this year. So there was less money abated to the wind turbines and everything, about 67 million. The values of the personal property in the county went down by 31 million. So
It's new property. Is it?
a lot of the increase, the new property was only 5 million. That's a little lower than the revaluation of home sites and non-home sites improvements this year went up 42 million. That's a huge increase. That's 11.5% that improvements went up this year. With the current rate price of everything, I don't foresee that happening, in my opinion, over the next year or two. I think you're going to be flat with very little increase unless there's more property they haven't reappraised recently.
And Charles, you'd also remind me that the forecast for the wind turbines for next year might be a little bit less too.
Well, this year, the actual value of personal property went down 31 million. So that means the wind turbines went down probably 20-something million of that. This year, it bailed us out because two of the different projects went to a different percentage on abatement. So it showed an increase in taxable value on the wind turbines of 33 million. But that's the last time that's going to happen probably, because over the next 4 years, there's no change in abatement. I think the next change in abatement is in 2029 maybe before the next. So the wind turbines are going to be less value taxable each year for the next 4 or 5 years. This year, had there not been a change in abatements, the wind personal property went down 31 million. I would expect that to be a similar amount going forward. So you're probably sitting here next year with the taxable value actually going down, is what I'm thinking is going to happen next year. Is the taxable value is actually going to decrease.
And then that's all the wind turbines that are on the lake. That's not the pilot.
No, the pilot, they're 10-year fixed. We're about year 2 of the 10-year fix. That's, in my opinion, a very good deal for the county. It helps in the budget process anyway, that you've got the same amount coming in for a 10-year period. So now at the end of the 10-year period, it's going to be an adjustment, but for that 10-year period, it's going to be very good.
Yeah, so in that same breath that he's saying that in 10 years, we don't need to keep lowering our taxes, because when that 10 years, you can't, to keep up your regular rate, you can't jump up higher than that voter's approval rate. And so then you've locked yourself into a trouble.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the increase in personal property, is that just evaluation of?
Well, the valuation of personal property actually went down 31 million. And the major source of that personal property is the wind turbines, Encore, LCRA, those type of things.
But the increase was from?
The abatement percentages. There was one of them that was 60% abated last year. That's now 100% tax, was 40% abated, and now it's 100% taxable. And then I think the other one went from 40%, 60% abated to 40%.
Yeah.
Well, 60-40 and the 40 was off completely.
In energy went completely off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and energy went completely off, and flat top is now at 40 instead of 60 the year before. The other thing about flat top, according to the Pritchard and everything, they didn't change the value of flat top this year at all of the price value. That's unusual. That the wind projects have been going down, 5% or so just about every year. They kept that value the same this year. And I can't explain why, but I would anticipate 2 years in a row is not gonna happen, so I think next year you're looking at a bigger decrease in flat top than some of these others. And it may have been that when Pritchard sent the numbers, that one was not final and it wasn't noted or something, but that surprised me that that one stayed the same.
I've been confused on how they appraise those wind turbines myself. And with the depreciation and, new motors, blades,
Personal opinion, I think that's the plan on those things, is for them to keep us confused on how they are valued. It never has made sense to me how they're valued.
okay? Commissioners, any other questions for Charles on the first part of this, workshop? But it's good to report the county is in good financial shape with our reserves. We talk about keeping the same tax rate, which I think is proper.
I think we don't know what's ahead of us.
Yeah.
We got to.
Yeah, I agree, Commissioner Barton. So any other questions for Charles? We're getting into the other parts of the budget workshop, and Charles, hang loose with there may be something pop up too. Hearing none. We're at 5A, law enforcement, Sheriff Poole and future Sheriff Jones. We've got, I don't know how many meetings, lots and lots of meetings, along with Melissa. And, I don't guess there's any proposed changes now on anything in your department, correct? Okay. Commissioners, any questions for the law enforcement group?
One I have, and it may be in there and I'm just not seeing it, Sheriff Poole, is, you talked about sending two, jailer dispatchers to go get their, peace officers license and training. Is that in there or is that? Do you know?
Yes, so that is part of the increase in the training under the sheriff's office expense. So on that, the training, deputy training. So that's part of that increase that we did on that. Okay, so
6,000 will cover that for two officers?
yes,
Okay. Okay.
basically,
For some reason, it was more than that.
yeah, the cost of the academy and then uniforms and stuff like that is, it's not that great of an expense, but it is a little bit higher. Okay, that's part of that.
Okay.
Those two guys.
Hypothetical question. I know sometimes that can bite you, but, do you require any kind of contract with those people after you do that?
We are going to require them to stay for a couple of years.
Yeah, and that years ago was approved. I don't know if you were here when it first went, but when we approved that for you're
Oh,
not.
that's something that's been out there for years. It's a good idea on one hand. and you should buy it.
Yeah, Gerald said it, if they wanted to leave, it's not much you can do about it. I mean, it's there.
It's kind of one-sided. It's if you do want them to leave, if they want.
Okay, any questions on law enforcement?
The only one, and it may have changed, is the EMC, I think it's 334. I may not have the updated,
I was,
the EMC training, did that get zeroed out?
but it's 20,000 what we talked about.
No, this is under the sheriff's department.
Supposed to be 1,500.
Right, for the training.
So the training,
Yes, I don't believe we've done anything with that because it hadn't been finalized.
Correct. Yeah, so I didn't know, are you gonna? It's all up in the air. Are you gonna remain till January or are you gonna have to go to some trainings or expense and?
Now, as far as I know right now, I'm staying till January. And.
You may wanna leave that.
Right, I mean, we can leave it and we can move it later, move it to the EMC if there's a line item for that. So,
Okay.
I might be great, but yeah, we have no problem, transferring that 1,500 that we have budgeted to the new EMC.
long as we're all on the same page, everybody understand. Okay,
Yes.
okay, I'm good. Then that's,
Okay, any other comments, Sheriff? What you got? Okay.
Very good.
Sheriff, thank you. Then, hearing none, other questions on law enforcement, will go to precinct budgets B. I guess the best way to start this off, be go down the line, start off with Commissioner Wright, precinct 1.
Precinct one, of course, on our equipment, we lowered that because we were afraid we were gonna have a deficit in our budget. That 70,000 on equipment, actually, that's, insurance checks already in hand. So, I have no changes. I'm gonna leave it as is.
Okay. Commissioner Head, precinct 2.
Just leave mine like it is.
Okay. Commissioner Parton.
I'm good with mine.
Okay. Commissioner Williams. Okay, so no changes in any of the precinct budgets. Okay. C, road and bridge.
I was gonna do anything for whatever made the thing. If you want to correct, offset and put money back in.
what would you put it under road materials? Is that what you're thinking? Or road improvements? Road improvements. Mhm. And did those other line items, 16 and 18, it got changed, didn't it? Because this is an older
Oh,
one.
that's an old,
See, that's 20 and 10.
that's is good.
Yeah,
That's for repairs and tires, but the other one,
yeah, that's right.
where we
It's
did
in
have
the middle.
100,000.
Right here. Yeah. No, we used 53. We didn't have anything in this year, said, so. Yeah.
And the reason I say that, because if we was to not get some of these places like Great Crossing approved through FEMA,
Yeah.
and might need some money to dig out and I'm pretty crossing. Like we did the one here.
I'm not against that at all. I think that not knowing what FEMA's gonna do, I'm good with that. I don't know. It's just kind of a backup.
State that figure again. I was looking at other things, for the road and bridge.
I'd say 100,000 for,
318.
318, which is road improvements. Yeah, my next question was road materials, 0317.
Well,
I think we're gonna be good on that.
I'm on,
Okay.
on the, only thing about the concrete deal, I'm just gonna say is, just when I just had Louis come in and do my. That's 12,000 just to do it in apron, so.
Well,
I think that's what you're gonna be doing.
Well, I mean, like if you did, like you talk about doing a concrete crossing or something like that, and you do a concrete crossing in a couple acres.
well, you already have it in our budgets that we're budgeting for, road,
Well, I was just.
So this would be a backup.
Well, I know, but I mean, I was just saying that, $25,000 is probably not gonna do a full crossing.
Correct.
Like your crossing that you had done and Judge crossing, they basically just poured a slab on the rock and that was it. So
The other side is we could come back to the commissioner's court and say, this one needs it more than others. Let's.
That's kind of where I'm going now, because we're gonna try and when we get FEMA people on the ground, try to persuade them that some of these things would be better. If
Yeah.
they were concrete top, but if they don't, this will give us a backup to maybe at least do one or two.
Yep.
If we can. But, if we don't get nothing accomplished, then we can.
that's fine, man. I'm just saying, that
adding that,
Or adding it's good, but.
adding that 100,000 to that line item is gonna make you under a deficit. Cause you're at 84 right now.
I thought it was 200.
Yeah, we're at 238, 238.
84, I was thinking 84 million, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on the wrong one, yeah.
Commissioner Ryan, does that sound good to you on the
That
road?
sounds fine.
0318 road improvements plus $100,000 more into that. Okay,
Well,
Do you have the updated one, Judge?
this is the latest one I got, I printed off of this morning.
Okay, is it corrected on those?
It's got 20 and 10 on the.
20 and 10, okay. Okay, that's what I wanted, yeah. Cause one of our copies didn't have that, okay.
Now, when you do the 100, then the treasurer's going to have to go in and decrease transfers from road and bridge by 25,000 per precinct, and increase the transfers from the general fund by 25. So when you get your updated, there's gonna be lots of changes based on that $100,000. Okay. The net effect is just $100,000 more expenditures, but it's gonna flow through about 6 funds to do it.
Well, it doesn't happen, we haven't really fund.
You could do budget a deficit of 100,000 in the road and bridge special if you wanted to by doing it that way. But that kind of undercuts your wanting to build up road and bridge special through the years.
So,
You can do it however y'all want instructor to do it.
so she doesn't move those transfers over until we ask for it. So they stay in the general
They
fund.
stay in the general.
Until, because once she moves them, she can't move them back. And so she leaves them as long as she has to before she moves them. So she's not gonna just take that 100,000 and put it in there tomorrow after we approve this.
It will be in the, it'll be budgeted as.
It'll be budgeted, but yeah,
It's on paper.
yeah, it's just, yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Ryan, any other comments down on your end? That sounds,
No comments from me.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Robert, that sound good?
Yeah.
Commissioner Portland, sound good? 100,000 to fund 0318 road improvements. And Commissioner Williams, anything else? All right. Y'all done with the road and bridge? Okay, down to other. I had requested the EMC, which is gonna be just EMC duties, once Sheriff Poole retires from that. We talk about $20,000 yearly contract deal. Commissioner Williams, I want to look at it and see it in my,
Is that in your, because I don't have the,
I didn't.
it's gonna be under your name, so
Go back.
under your fund,
Under the judges?
yeah.
Yeah.
In charge of it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But I have the older version that I got pulled up here.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't know somewhere else or what.
She said it was out.
Yeah. No. That's the only thing else I saw that we needed. And of course, we're gonna have a meeting Wednesday morning at 8. If City Commission Court approves that proposed, professional service contract that I've had County Attorney Hill look at.
This thing way on budget strictly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
I'll just pitch this out here and it has nothing to do with money. We've got a lot of job descriptions within this, EMC,
Yeah.
EMD, Tatum. But it looks to me like we got all the job descriptions covered except for what we need to cover. And that's thing.
you talking about FEMA job description or?
Somebody's got to do the thing.
Sure.
If they had that, did I guess that's how long, I'm not sure, and it's talking.
Yeah.
You got all the job descriptions covered except for that still you don't have anybody to actually do the work. Pertaining to FEMA. And to me, that's a must. The rest of it's just job description. Sorry. And I assume still that the lady that Comanche that is their EMC, I don't know if she is their Tatum person, but she is the person that does everything in Comanche County. So we have not been able to, or even gotten her down here for a meeting.
Well,
May not want to. I don't know.
yeah, I haven't ordered one, so I don't know.
I mean, we had the 30,000 in there, you know,
For the supplement, yeah.
for the supplement,
Yeah.
but, I don't know that we've got anybody that's gonna pay.
So,
What is the meeting about? Oh, I see it.
well, it's gonna go at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, proposed meeting is with the David Shaw on just EMC duties. Nothing else.
I thought we'd already approved that.
Well, we didn't approve the professional service contract. You remember it had a wrong figure. And we brought that back, and he's got more of a job description and start date, which, well, actually, the start date was talking about the person didn't have an ending date. This is the county attorney held about this, Thursday or Friday. The professional service contract that David Shaw had.
Yeah, he sent a proposed contract and I went over it, and basically my only objection to it was it didn't have a term in it. And I suggested a 1-year term from October 1 to September 30 to coincide with the fiscal
Yeah.
budget process. Renewable, automatically renewable for.
Well, we didn't, I don't know if we put that in, we just talked. Yeah. Yeah, we just have 1-year term agreement and discuss it next year, see what he wants to do.
Basically, it's a 1-year budget process.
Yeah,
Come up again next year, decide if you want to do it again next.
So it is just between the city, so the 20,000 covers the
yes.
Now, one thing you were talking about duties, I think this is in the health and safety code. I'm not getting any help from the sheriff's office. That's a guess on my part. But this is a statutorily created office, and I'm pretty sure that there are some duties outlined in the health and safety code that says what this person is supposed to do. So there are some statutory duties, that are imposed on the person once he accepts the position. I mean, I honestly can't sit here and tell you what they are because I haven't read it. But I think they are in the health and safety code. So, I mean, you're not just shooting in the dark. He's got responsibility.
Other requirements, yeah, other reports.
And apparently, I don't know, but apparently,
Yeah. And Sheriff Poole, I think you will say that EMC is a very important spot. It does take quite a bit of time and paperwork, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will see about, budgeting that 20,000 for the EMC where it's.
Judge, if you look on page 13
13.
of the proposed budget, down at the bottom, there's
There
been,
it is.
well, it's,
Yeah.
the line item has been added.
Yeah.
It's blank, but above it, under grant expenditures, 20,000 has been added there. I think the thing has been created, but I think maybe it's budgeted on the line.
It's on the wrong line. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be paid out of the FEMA.
No, we're talking about the EMC coordinator.
Yes, 0826, yeah.
0826,
Yeah.
it's contract EMC. I thought she had added it.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I overlooked that. My apologies.
I don't have it.
Yeah, that's in the newest one I've just printed off. 0826. Okay. All right.
I have one more and we haven't went and talked about it yet. It's not on the agenda. I mean, it's on the agenda, it's just further down. We got a proposal from the treasurer's office for her new software.
Yes.
And that software right now on that line item is, I don't know, it may be updated on yours, Charles. Mine's page 6. Last line item, 321.
Fuel Country Software,
Yes, sir. What is that?
was 4,000 on this.
4,000. Her bid. If I'm reading it correctly, you got a monthly cost. And then the grand total per month for leases at the most 1,700, which would be 20,400, if I'm doing that right. Do you know, Judge?
I don't know anything about it. I see Hill Country Software budgeted $4,000, but I don't know anything else about it.
Yeah, but I'm saying on the, look, it's on your agenda for later, or down on the
Yeah.
treasure software. Did you talk to her about that, or do
No.
we know?
Have not.
Okay, so I'm thinking that needs to be at least 20,000 there.
You may want to talk to the treasurer, you know, their software budgeted out of other
Yeah.
funds also, and so she may have taken it
Okay.
out of, you know, she may have increased those other line items in those technology.
Be
funds.
the next question, Judge, that we need to find out on
Okay,
that software, treasure software.
okay. Yeah, I don't have the answer to that, Commissioner Williams, so. Okay,
I reviewed that contract too, and I'm speaking from memory, which you guys know that's not a good idea. But as I did read it, and as I recall, it was like $1,660 something a month. It's
Right.
what the new software.
Right.
And Summer explained it to me that this is not the same company that she had, but this company actually bought out the other company. And so as far as the transition, there's not going to be a problem with the transition, that the prior company doesn't exist anymore because this company bought them out. And so it's a new software, but it's related to the prior software.
okay.
I'm just saying that we've got 4,000 budgeted and if it's 1,600, 1,700 a month, that's not gonna be
That number
enough.
may not be correct. So don't
Yeah,
forget
so
that.
we need to double check on that one.
Okay,
I'm 20,400 if it's that 1,700, but it's 16, 20,000 would cover it, so.
okay.
Well, I understand, but we're on budget.
Yeah.
So-
Budget, other.
That's what's
Yeah,
confusing.
that's what's, yeah.
So currently, commissioners, what we've been discussing, I'm showing, of course, we're showing a $286 $100,000 surplus. We've made some changes to our $100,000 for road improvements, $20,000 for EMC, person, and $20,000 for software. So I'm showing about another $140,000.
I thought that was all right.
If we found that EMC,
But it's in there,
think on a line item.
but it's just on the line item. Okay,
But you.
that's under,
That's all, you can put some money in contingency to be you where it's not.
Yeah, she's got some on the contingency, page 13, I think.
Rules used to be that you didn't put the word contingency in the budget. You budget for actual expenditures and contingency was not recognized. Evidently, since I've quit going to budget workshops, they've changed that rule because I see that in budgets now, contingency, and that used to be a big no-no.
Page 13 is what she's got at number 519.
that's what I'm saying. Okay. So anyway, 140,000 roughly, so that still shows a surplus, for our county with current tax rate. Correct, Charles?
120,000, right?
120, okay.
Yeah, that would still leave you at about 140,000.
Okay. And again, back to that, contract EMC is showing grant expenditure 20,000, so that probably should have been where the EMC line should have been.
I looked and I don't see grant revenue, so
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah, okay.
budget grant expenses without grant.
Yeah, it's easy to get off on all these lines. Got it, okay. So, 120,000 is what we're showing. changes. Commissioners, anything else, y'all see, we need to talk about or change? Okay. Anything else? Questions for Charles? We're going into the proposed tax rate then, number 6. Again, now we gotta have the open the hearing next week before our commissioners court, which will be Monday of next week. Let's talk about the proposed budget and the tax rate. And this is it shouldn't say consider act. We're not actually acting on the tax rate. We're just gonna propose I'm gonna propose a 0.6061 total tax rate for the county, which is the same tax rate as last year. Charles, anything else I need to add to that or anything?
No, I don't think you take action.
Yeah, yeah. But this would be the same tax rate we've had last year, which would generate a slight surplus at the current tax rate. And then again, next week, we'll have the public hearings for the budget. We'll vote on the budget. We'll vote on the tax rate. Charles will be here again. Stay healthy, Charles.
What day is that? Next Monday?
What's that?
Next Monday,
Monday, this coming Monday, a week from today.
Monday.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
See.
Yeah. We've got another commissioner report meeting after that, so we're gonna be commissioned out after this month. Okay,
The only thing I would ask, and hopefully you will say no, do you want to change the collection percentage to the 98.5 in this budget? Or do you want to not start that procedure next year?
there's gonna be a lot of paperwork changing all that. for everybody.
I don't know. You're gonna show difference this
Yeah,
year.
it'll be less revenue this year in, it'll change several different funds. Well, it'll change 2 different funds. But I mean, it's not a big problem if y'all want to change that to the 98.5 or 98, but tell me what percentage you want me to change it to.
What is it? It was in our book, in our thing today. Remember, it was 90. 98.1 overalls, 98.5. 98.5. We're at 99, right?
99.5, was it? I just saying leave it as is unless it creates, I mean, I don't have any more paperwork for everybody to have to do at the 99.5 next year. Yes, I'm in agreement to do it 98.5. I understand we'll have less revenue showing at the 99.5 versus 98.5.
But if you moved it that one, say 1% point, would it take care of that other 100 and something thousand, or would it be more than
It'd be about 90,000 roughly off the top of my head, probably. It would change all the percentages too. It would, I mean.
Yeah, all your tax and percentages.
Yeah, because we'd have to put more in interest and sinking if we're only gonna budget 98.5% collection as opposed to 99. So it would change the interest and sinking rate, and it would change the other 2 rates both also. So,
It's not like big trouble, but easier leave it 99.5 with all these earlier projections, and then next year, let's make that change to 98.5 or so.
Well, I understand it's easier, but I mean,
Well,
if you're short money, it's gonna look bad at the end. When you could have fixed it now, but we could do it next year. I mean, like Charles is saying,
yeah,
what's your recommendation?
I mean, I don't really have a recommendation on that. It's a little bit more work. Historically, you really haven't ended a year that hasn't been 99.5. Now, if this year ends at less than 99.5, then maybe next year in the budget gives you justification to do it at that lower percentage. I'm more comfortable from a budgeting standpoint at 98 because that's gives you a little cushion on the upside. You're always going to have a little upside. That used to be more important when we had a $500,000 surplus rather than a $5 million. So we always tried to budget conservatively on revenue and in case there was some shortage of revenue like there was this year.
So this 99.5 figure's been, the figure been going by for the last 4 or 5 years or so, or?
Yeah, what didn't go the first year, Judge Smith, but it was like the second year, Judge Smith.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Okay.
It's been about 4 years.
4 years.
Okay.
I'm good with, if y'all wanna leave it, I'm.
I'm fine with it as is. And next year, I agree, Commissioner Williams will readdress it. Okay,
I think you need a vote on the proposed rate.
well, we're supposed, you just heard we're gonna do that next week. It should have been considered an act, it should be just considered the tax rate.
Should have been a discussion only.
Public hearing.
Vote on the proposed rate.
No, I don't think so. I think you have to vote on the.
We're gonna do that next week after the public hearing. We do
Well,
this-
it'll be the rate next time.
Well, we talk about the proposed tax rate next time.
Judge Johnson,
Yes.
I believe there needs to be a vote on the proposed tax rate. That way, next week, y'all can actually vote on the actual tax rate.
Okay, my mistake. Thank you, Jackie. You're looking at it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You need to adopt a
So
proposal,
it goes to the meeting next
Tax
week, yeah, for the public hearing. Okay, okay,
not the rate. The rate's determined after a public hearing.
okay,
But you need a proposed rate, I think, before you can have the.
okay. Well, let me make a motion. I'll propose a tax rate for 2024 0.6061. Charles, is that all I need in my motion?
Probably need to state.
Gotta do all.
Yeah, by interest and sinking, yeah.
Can you give me those numbers again, Charles?
Interest and sinking is 5.35,
5.35,
general is 45.05,
45.05 for general,
road bridge special is 10.21.
road and bridge special is what now?
10.21.
10.21. Let me verify that. Interest and sinking 5.35, general 45.05, road and bridge 10.21. Correct? For a total of 0.6061. Correct? Okay. Let's start about,
Proposed rate is not the rate.
yeah, it's proposed, proposed. Okay,
Redo your motion, make sure you.
I'm gonna start my motion again here. I've got proposed motion for the tax rate for 2024. Interest and sinking 5.35. General 45.05. Road and bridge special 10.21. For an overall tax rate, proposed tax rate 0.6061. Is that right, Charles? That is my motion.
Second,
Second's been made by Commissioner Ryan. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of the proposed tax rate for 2024 for Mills County, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, now, number 7, consider act on county treasurer software. Again, I don't have any other information than what appears in our packet. Commissioners, what I want to do on this?
well, the grand total of this is 1,400 a month. Is that what you're saying?
No, it could be 1,700, it says 4.
1,700?
Or 1400,
Or 1,700.
Same company?
Not exactly, but it's, yeah, but as I understand it, it's buyout deal.
Same company, different name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commissioner, if you look at your packet, it's included there. It's what? One
I actually
page.
read this contract, even though it's like 45 pages long. But, basically, it's got a, as I understand, it's got a 2-year term. And like most of these contracts, it's automatically renewable unless you give the other side 90 days notice if you go for renew it. It's something that has to be addressed periodically, but it is a 2-year term contract, which, basically means you're stuck with them for 2 years, whether you like them or not, but, I mean, I think most contracts are like that. It's got a lot of provisions in it about taking care of the other person's proprietary interest, records, et cetera. Don't really find any kind of offenses without the contract.
Okay.
But that it's way too long.
So I do know this, talking to Summer and talking to Goldsmith Technology Solutions. There's no, I mean, she has to go to something.
Yeah.
Because like Gerald just said, that Hill Country's no more. And so she's got to make sure that this goes. And if y'all remember, she was gone a couple of days and went to Lubbock. That's what she went to look at that, and she liked it. Now, if you'll notice on the contract down there, it does say that they won't be installing it, be able to do the install till the third quarter of 2025, which y'all know that'll be right in the middle of budget. Just FYI.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get paperwork and all that stuff out. It could be challenging next year during the budget cycle, trying to get that stuff out. So, but I mean, there's not much you can do about it because so many people are transferring over to it. So,
Well, I'm all in favor of approving it, and again, we'll budget that money over there.
yeah, we just need to make sure. And did you get 20,400
at
at the 70? And I just did the high number.
Yeah. Yeah, 20,400, so
Yeah,
you want
keep
to,
going.
next one,
Might be.
make sure that software is right, make it
Yeah.
20,400. And the budget process, Commissioner Williams, you say 20,000 or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
And again, I don't know if it's gonna be 1,400 or 1,700, I'm just reading exactly what it said, it's either 1,400 or 1,700 per month.
Yeah.
Or just, well, you just leave it at 20,000.
Yeah, I think you're 20,000, you're fine.
20,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, somebody want to make a motion on this thing, or? I'll make a motion that we approve my notes again. I'll make a motion that we approve the county treasurer software was a financial intelligence company. So that's my motion.
What's it for?
Well, it's different prices. We're gonna budget that money over there, make sure it's there. I don't know if we have to put all these prices in there. It's got like 4 different prices.
Did we not read the, other than that, did we not read the contact the treasurer on this?
Well, we can hold off on it when we get everything done by the time we do our vote next week.
Well, you've already got it in the budget, so you're budgeting it. If you wanted to, if you wanted to table this, you could, but you've already got the money budgeted, but I'm a little bit, I think if this is what she's presenting, this is what she wants to go. Now, we don't have the figures correct, Dale. I do agree with you on that.
I think you need your figures.
Well, I don't know.
14 out there, and it's 17 out there, and we're 7 out there, and I'll have to play.
Okay,
So you got a motion.
I got a motion. I'll go ahead and I made my motion. So any other discussion, Commissioner Porter got some discussion, you're proposing to just hold off and get more information?
Be my suggestion.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, do I hear a second? No second, my motion dies. Okay,
I
Commissioner,
make a motion that we table the county treasurer software until we get a final number.
okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to table this, so we get a final number. Any other discussion?
Is the treasurer gonna be here during this presentation, so we'll know what's going on with it? I think that's kind of important too. You know,
I don't know.
We're tabling it, so we'll have to make sure she gets here.
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying.
Okay,
As you're doing.
we got a motion to table this by Commissioner Williams. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Second's been made by Commissioner Williams.
No.
Excuse me, by Commissioner Mike Wright. Any other discussion? All those in favor of tabling this, say aye. All those opposed? Me. Okay. Number 8, consider an act on curbing and flooding control law enforcement center. So we talked about this last week, folks. The thought was to see about if, Buster Taylor, he had presented a bid for the curbing. And, it was brought up for people to reach out, or whoever to reach out to Buster about seeing if he could do the impound yard area with a retaining wall or something to that effect. And I think several of y'all may have talked to Buster. I talked to him, he said he cannot do anything regarding the retaining wall by the impound yard of the law enforcement center. Now, there's been a quote from a guy from Mullen on the impound yard, and also Buster's quote. Now, I think I brought this up last week. Buster's quote was a little bit higher than the one in April because he found out he's got to tie his curbing in to the city of Gulf Lake Street, because they don't do that anymore. The city of Gulf Lake does not tie into curbs and stuff. So Buster would have to provide the materials and means to do that. Buster did tell me if this is approved, that he could start work on maybe this week or next week on the curb. So,
Did you get to visit with him, Robert? That's, I think it was pointed,
Yeah, I talked to him.
and
And then I called him, talked to him again Friday, and he said he'd just rather just do the curve. He said he don't really have the,
And how, and there was a question on the length.
well, me and him discussed that too, and the measurement he did was where it comes down, all the way down to almost to the bottom, or 330 feet. But where it kind of makes the arch right there, and he said that's where he shut it off at. And I guess the other one kind of just went farther in on the side, on the bottom or something.
Yeah, it went all the way around the bottom corner when I talked to him, but
You know,
330 feet doesn't get you the whole end. Unless
Said
y'all
he me-
measured it.
he said he measured it. I told him I'd like to meet up with him up there, but I guess we just didn't get together on that part. But when he said he went up there and remeasured it, he said it goes from around the ends all the way across the top and back down the end.
that's what he told me also, that the curve included both ends going all the way around to where it stops. at the
Well,
bottom.
I measured it Friday with the wheel, with my rolling wheel. That's only about in the middle of on each end, it stops in the middle of that curve to get 330. So maybe 340, maybe. Get you around there, but it's close to 360.
I mean, he just said it, what he's got to work. He said he just,
But the other one is 460, that's way too big. So it goes 10 foot on the straightaway on the down part. You know, understand what I'm saying? It goes a lot further around.
He said whatever, he told me, it came over after he visited with Robert, whatever it would take to do both ends of it, that would be included. Yeah, that's more or less what he said. And I didn't will it, and he wanted it. He said if he needed to go remeasure it, he would, but he would honor that bid about curbing both ends. He would honor it. So
Okay.
I think Buster's fine with what he proposed here and his price. That includes the curves on each end. So whatever measurements we get, I don't think it'd make any difference, Jason. He guarantees he'd do both ends of it, but
okay,
he wouldn't do the fence. That was not in part, is that correct, Robert? What
yeah, he said he didn't have time to mess with the fence.
yeah, told me he didn't have time to all of a sudden.
The curbing down there.
He's not gonna do the curb down there. He's just doing the curb at the front.
Curbing up on the top, that's what this is his bid. But as far as down below on the fence and
As
stuff,
far
and
as-
building the curb and all that, he hadn't time to mess with it, what I was told.
I would think that's more crucial than that up at the road.
Well, we approved this here on the curbing up on the front, Dale, on the highway, and that's what he's been waiting on, and I know the comment's been made that he wouldn't get to it. He will do this and get it done within 10 days, start on it. That's all I know. Now, the others, total separate deal. And that's the reason I brought
He
it up.
just, he said that as far as doing the wall and filling all that in with dirt, he said they just didn't think he had the time to do that, and so he's not really sure. He said what he thinks that needs to be done is probably way more than what we'd want to be willing to do anyway. On that fence.
His bid here is what he's showing us, is what he's gonna do. I mean, that's the curb up on the front on the highway. Now, the fence and stuff is total separate issue. Now, if you wanna try to combine it, we didn't have that bid to start with, Dale. All we talked about as the council is what we were gonna do up on the highway.
That whole thing, I don't know what happened there, that was in first grade.
April, well, the floods hit.
And
Yeah, but it was
but he was told, somehow or another, told off.
Well, the floods hit first of May, and I discussed it, you might wait a little bit. What I told him, just trying to figure out what we're gonna do with these floods.
His bid, Buster's bid is what he has on paper here, that's up on the highway, putting the curb and round the ends. Now, I don't think he's even discussed this other, who got this bid, I don't know.
I got that bid,
Okay,
but I thought Buster was not gonna do it.
that's total he's saying that's total different.
I think we need to do what we said we were gonna do in April, because we've already approved it, but I think it's pretty imperative that we get this other fixed, because that's more of a problem than the curving up on the road.
I agree.
And I think honestly, we should try to do it this budget cycle.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I agree.
But I think still, like we talked about up there at the sheriff's office though. Even putting a wall right there, retaining wall in the material, I still think we need to cut that corner right there with a curve and force the water to the deal.
I mean, that it's curving.
I mean,
It's a curve.
even if you did that, I'm not really sure what the retaining wall purpose, other
I
than
don't
keep-
know.
I
Yeah.
think the retaining.
Other than
wall-
keeping the dirt from going on the shooters.
If you look at it, none of your H braces are even in the ground. So they're gonna have to be put into a retaining wall to even have anything holding that corner. And then you're gonna have to backfill what's washed out twice. You know, but those that corner up there has got to be anchored by something.
I agree, it's very important that impact we're going to Commissioner Parton. We hear a motion on anything, any more discussion?
I'll make a motion that we let Buster do his project that we agreed on for this court with this bid that we have in hand, and let him start on it immediately and get it completed, and then we can deal with this other. Somebody can take it over, but that's
At the
my
price
motion.
of, you need to include your price.
Yeah. And Commissioner Wright, what about the impound yard? Are you, this motion gonna include
Like
that?
I'm saying, I don't know anything about the deal. I know when we worked on that down there, it was discussed that was gonna be put blocks in it, Jason. Somebody, and that fell through, and then we brought dirt in and built it up. And it was suggested that we put a retaining wall on it at that time, but that didn't happen.
It was also told that we were gonna cement that corner when they cemented the curb. And that's why we went ahead and just did the dirt. At that time, it had not washed out the whole post. All three corners.
Washed out at the time we built it up, when we put the other stuff in our side of the gate. So my motion is let Buster go ahead and start on his with a price of $10,500 for the curb and on the main street, and then we'll deal with the other.
If that's all he wants to do or can do, can we go ahead and talk to the guy that did this down in the basement and try to
Good.
get something done to the other?
Yeah.
You got this other bid
We got the bid there from,
you got from S&M.
I said we can get Louis, we can ask Louis about it. I bet he'd be willing to do it.
Big concrete work.
Well, he does fence work, so
No,
he's fixing the fence.
but fence is only part of that bid.
Concrete work, dirt work, and fence. Repair.
Okay. Any other discussion? So we do have a motion by Commissioner Bryant for Buster Taylor.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? We've got a second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion on this? Okay, all those in favor of approving the motion of Buster Taylor on the curbing, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. And here on the discussion, we're still gonna try to get possibly Louis Coronado to get a quote on the impound yard, correct?
Okay.
Who wants to be in charge of that?
Well, I'll call him and ask him.
It needs to be on Monday's agenda, or it needs to be added to another agenda, because I'm sure the sheriff wants this done ASAP,
I
so.
agree. Okay, well, look, adding that, Sheriff, you'll remind me, make sure we get that added on Monday, if we can get a quote from Louis.
We gotta get a quote from him
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. Number 9, consider an act on 1888 historical jail blinds installation on the first floor and on-demand water. County Attorney Hale and I were in a meeting with the commissioner, with the Mills County Historical Commission. We had our first meeting last week in the 1888 jail, and for the bright light and possible noise reduction and energy saving, is proposed to put wood blinds in there like we have here. And Guy, you might come up here to help me if I miss something. I believe there's 10 windows over there, correct? 9 windows. And the on-demand water, which is for the bathroom, is about roughly $100 cost for that, right? So in our meeting, we all discussed this, and our Mills County Historical Commission voted to approve this. Of course, since our Commissioner's Court was approval from all of us. Guy, did I leave anything out?
No, the only thing is, when I called and, got a proposal on these blinds, one thing that has changed is they no longer have the drawstring, because federal law said they couldn't put them on anymore because children were hanging themselves and whatever, but they're the exact same blinds, other than you can't draw them up and down. But, they will, still got a discount on them. I think the price for the entire courthouse was like 30,000, and then we got a 30% discount on it, so it's 10 something. But anyhow, so $1,700 and some change.
So it'll be 9 blinds and 1 on-demand heater.
Yeah, the on-demand water heater will go under the sink.
We got this under the expense,
It's under the
building. What expense?
it was the money that was set aside for the 1888 jail restoration.
Yeah, we got the money in the account, this report.
So those windows over there in that old jail at the top are curved.
I don't.
So the one that frames are square.
Curved, but the frame is square. The windows are curved, but the frame is square like these. So you can put these type blinds
All the way to
all
the,
the way to the top.
all the way to the top, okay. Just
I
double.
measured it, and I think we got 6 different sizes on 9 different windows. So that's why
Their tape
they
measures,
custom made it.
tape measures didn't work good back in the 1888 era that they got,
No,
like our doors here.
And are you installing these, or are we?
I will install this.
Yeah, we heard that last time too.
I can do 9. I have a little trouble with
Just checking.
131.
You come back a week later and said no.
I can do 9. Not a problem. And the on-demand water, it's one of those under the sink.
That's right out here. That's in this bathroom.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, discussion?
By the way, I'm gonna add that it is a nice place to meet, and that the building has been very well refurbished. Appreciate everybody's help and working just fine. Us old people just need something to keep the sun out of our eyes.
Yeah,
I'm the one that complained about.
This bid, it says room one, is that all what we're doing? And it's the price of $1,746.66.
That's correct. 9 blinds.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve this blind for $1,746.66 for the old jail
and the heater, and the on-demand heater
and
too.
on the man heater.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner, Williams is seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the, historical jail blind installation and the demand water, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Ayes have it. Okay, guys, after to consider an act of declaring 2 gas heaters, a toilet, and fluorescent light fixture as scrap. Go ahead.
So there's a Dearborn gas heater and another one, it doesn't have a brand on it, but they're old, they're out here in the 1888 jail. I have pictures of them if you want to look at them, but, from what I understand, even if you hook them up and light them up now, they're gonna have a smell that you can never get out of them because they've sat forever. And, of course, the old toilet. I'm seeing use for that, but, and there's one light fixture, or 4 lamp fluorescent light fixture that, it's not in good shape at all, but I don't have a use for it anywhere, and I don't see a value in reselling it. Declare it scrap, and then if somebody needs one out of the barn or something, I don't know the process for that, but I need to get them out of the old jail.
Yeah. Okay, commissioners, any questions or discussion on that?
Make a motion to declare 2 gas heaters, a toilet and fluorescent light as scrap. Or for the 1988 jail,
1888.
1888, excuse me.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Wright. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the items for scrap, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Guy, thank you. Number 11, commissioners' requests and reports. Commissioner Wright.
We've been working on County Road 306, the flood damage, we had to close it down for a few hours because we had a roller, a water truck, a maintainer, and 2 trucks on it. We just didn't have room for anybody. We didn't, the spot we're working, it does not affect anyone getting to their home or mailboxes or anything like that. They just have to go around, but we've been working on it. We're continuing to work on it today. Been cutting brush, or I should say Johnson grass. County Road 327, I've had a couple complaints about Johnson grass touching mirrors as we're driving down the road, but anyway, I reassured them we'd get to it when we could. I've been looking at 2 motor graders, one 40H. One of them's priced at $44,000, one of them's priced at $59,900. I'm dealing with that right now. I had to order a couple of tires for a maintainer and parts for a 120 M2. And I've been working on the FEMA, getting it ready for Wednesday's meeting, and that's about all I have.
Okay, Commissioner Head.
We worked on, putting a 10 horn in at 240 where that 10 horn just come all to pieces on us. Got it put in, got it where, people can drive across that crossing now. Worked on FEMA, worked on equipment, cleaned them up, blowed the radiators out, kind of washed out radiators, washed out on the backhoe and maintainers and dump trucks and all that, kind of do a little maintenance on them. So,
Okay. Is that it?
yeah.
Commissioner Parton.
Been shredding, combining my, hopefully Johnson grass, a little better than Bradley.
Blading some roads, we're just about to the point, it's way too dry. Got contacted, I guess Thursday, that, we needed to work on Bulldog Avenue, which is Mullen Street, before school started. Found out school was starting today. So we're up there today. They got Scott down the hall.
3 loads of bleaching, which is not gonna go anywhere. So we're messing with that today and trying to get all this payment stuff ready for Wednesday.
Okay, Commissioner Williams.
Just like everybody else, FEMA work, I hauled material from San Saba aggregate out to the stockpiled it out by Ebony, waiting on FEMA to work to be done. Did a little bit of blading on a couple areas, more spot blading than anything. Maintenance wise, we've done some stuff on the, getting, equipment inspected and all that other stuff. And so we've done that. Also let you know that, I don't know what's happened. We bought them twice before, but the boomer chains and boomers that are on the haul truck keep walking away. I don't know who's got them, so we bought some more. That'll be on the next accounts payables, probably be next month. And they're color coded now. We spray painted them, so they'll stay with that truck and trailer. Anyway, so, just to let y'all know, that'll be with that. Other than that, done some, child welfare board meeting last week too, so I'm good there. Helped with the health fair, a little bit. That was amazing. If y'all didn't go up there to the health fair, sheriff's department can agree with me. They were there, there was a line out the back door. It was pretty amazing event. Kudos to who put that on. Wish the air conditioner would have worked a little bit better in the civic center, but, it was pretty neat to see that event go together and all the different, there was a lot of our boards that we helped do that were there, and Hamilton Hospital District and all that was there. So it was, I think Comanche was there. I mean, it was pretty neat. So
I got there late. I agree with Commissioner Williams. Great turnout. A lot of booths. Sure.
That's it.
Okay, number 12, county judge's report. First off, I've been informed that our ag commissioner, Sid Miller, is going to be here tomorrow, Tuesday, at the Civic Center at 6 o'clock. So he'll be in town. I always like to have everybody show up. These elected officials show up to Mills County.
You better tell them to turn the air conditioner on today.
Turn the air conditioning down today, get it cold. Yeah, it's gonna be hot all this week. Second thing, I've mentioned off and on about the Hill Country Transit District and our proposed move someday to Central Texas Rural Transit District, which is all the northern counties north of us. Their board meeting took place this last week, and they approved Mills County, San Saba County, and Hamilton to come into their rural transportation district. Now, this was first approved by TxDOT, and I will bring this to Commissioners Court in a couple of months or so. The tentative date would be sometime after the first of the year that this would take place. And talking to all the people, I think it's going to be a win-win for Mills County with more buses, better service overall.
You said first of the year, first of the budget year, or first of the?
No, first, January the 1st, or coming up January the 1st. Our interlocal agreement with Hill Country Transit goes to December 31st. So that's what they're looking at sometime after January the 1st. J.R. Salazar is the general manager, and I'll have him come up and we'll start discussing this in the Commissioner's Court after the budget cycle in the next couple of months sometime.
Is this something we got?
Well, yeah, we'll get Commissioner's approval to vote on this. Now, they just went ahead and did it before this, and the TxDOT first had to go through the deal if we'd fit in with it. They had to get approval from TxDOT. So that's what, and we will take a Commissioner's Court, Commissioner Court, and make sure we're on the same page. And like I said, I'll have J.R. Salazar here to get a full report and everything. Okay. And this week, Wednesday morning, we're going to do a special Commissioners Court meeting, 8 a.m. at Law Enforcement Center, discuss EMC with David Shaw. Then 9 o'clock Wednesday at the Law Enforcement Center, we've got FEMA representatives here to discuss everything we need to know about FEMA. And that's all I have. Number 15 or 13, Commissioner Wright.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Everybody have a